Okay, good afternoon. My name is Maureen Strickland. I'm the Social Enterprise Development Specialist here at the Social Enterprise and Entrepreneurship One Social Enterprise Partnership Northern Region. And this webinar is on a pilot project that's taking place here in Sault Ste. Marie. It's called Social Enterprise Training that Unites Peers Setup. This will be a very brief webinar, maybe 15 to 20 minutes, just outlining how this pilot project works. If there are any representatives from small business enterprise centers or CFDCs watching this webinar, you may be inspired to start one of these in your own area of Northern Ontario. Or if you're a social entrepreneur, you might want to go into your local SBEC or CFDC and tell them about this and see if you can get something going. So I also have on the webinar today Zach Lowe. He's a research assistant here at Nordic Institute. He's monitoring the chat box. If you have any questions, you could write it in the chat box. We have everybody on mute as well. There's a link in the chat box for our evaluation of this webinar. If you could use that link to go in and fill out an evaluation so we can get some feedback, that would be great. So again, we're going to just do a little bit of overview of the regional partnership, talk about setup, why it was set up, the partners, how this one's working, and other resources that the Social Enterprise Regional Partnership can share with you. So once again, the Northern Regional Partnership is led by Nordic Institute. We are a community economic development research institute based out of Algoma University, affiliated with Community Economic and Social Development Program. We have a steering committee made up of representatives of each of the one sort of subsectors in the one network. For the small business enterprise centers, we have the Timmins EDC. For the innovation centers, we have Northwest Innovation Center out of Thunder Bay. For the campus linked accelerators, we have ULaunch, and we also have Paro Center for Women's Enterprise on our steering committee, as they are very involved in social enterprise as well throughout Northern Ontario. They have a CINO loan grant. This, but what we're focusing on now is this partnership that was set up through this partnership by Nordic in association with the Community Development Corporation of Sault Ste. Marie and our small business enterprise center here in the Soo called Millworks Center for Entrepreneurship. So essentially, these organizations got together to talk about how they could work together to assist social entrepreneurs in the Sault Ste. Marie area. As you know, entrepreneurs in general often need business support, help doing feasibility studies, help putting their business plans together, help doing cash flow forecasting. It's also great to be able to interact with people who are in the same sort of phase as you or in different phases of business development to get mutual support from fellow entrepreneurs and other people interested in or other people motivated by a social mission. And as well as, you know, many new enterprises require access to capital. So the goal here was to bring together a group of entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs, provide them business training through the Small Business Enterprise Center at Millworks. And once they had that business training, give them the opportunity to work on their business plans with continued support from the business support experts in the area. Once the business plan was ready, and if it was strong, made sense, that then the participants would be eligible to apply for up to $15,000 Community Futures Development Corporation loan at the from our local CFDC. So that's kind of the nuts and bolts of what this partnership is. And other reasons why it was formed beyond, you know, people needing business support, etc. Sort of the bigger picture reasons for this are that ongoing peer support has been shown to be very powerful in helping entrepreneurs, you know, gain information from people in a group also encouragement. You know, it's like being an entrepreneur can be a hard road. So to meet regularly with other people who are doing the same thing that you are can really give confidence and provide that extra boost to keep going. The CFDC in the Soo, as well as the Millworks, people involved in economic development, business development, recognize that social enterprises can have a great impact on communities, and that in order to achieve that possible impact, it's important to support them in getting off the ground. As we have touched base in previous webinars in this series, social enterprises are often developed to meet a community need. It could be a social, an environmental, a cultural, or economic need. And those needs are contributing to local economies. So this partnership was designed to both help these entrepreneurs succeed from a business point of view, but also by them succeeding, they have that positive impact, and they are, through that impact, also having a positive impact on the larger community that they're working in. So really, it's a win-win for everybody. As I said, the key partners here are the Small Business Enterprise Center, the Community Futures Development Corporation, and social entrepreneurs. So throughout Northern Ontario, in every rural region, we have Community Futures Development Corporations, and we also have Small Business Enterprise Centers. There's in Kenora, Thunder Bay, Sault Ste. Marie, North Bay, Parry Sound, Sudbury, and the New Liskeard area, and Timmins, all have Small Business Enterprise Centers. The Community Futures Development Corporations, there's more of them, but certainly the players are out there where this pilot could be potentially replicated. So just to give you an idea of how the training is working, we have a cohort of 7 social enterprises, and they have been undergoing training at the Small Business Enterprise Center 2 days a week for, I believe it's about 5 weeks of training. They'll just be coming up to finishing their training this week, and they're using the business canvas as their model for assisting their entrepreneurs. But there's all sorts of ways, and people on the call who are business support officers probably use all sorts of different methods. So the business model canvas is what they're using, and you can see by the titles of the topics being explored that they reflect the business model canvas. So once the participants go through all this training, they then have a few months to work on their business plan at the center and have ongoing support and mentorship while they're doing that. And at the same time, they're still meeting with their peers, their other fellow social entrepreneurs. Through this process, we're expecting that to go on through November into early January, that their business plans will be finalized, their financial projection will be finalized, and at that point, they would then have the opportunity to apply for the $15,000 capital through the Community Futures Development Corporation. And then, I'll just go back one, and then the expectation could be that they would want to continue to meet after this on their own, becoming more of a grassroots peer support. And we're actually talking about that tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock in our final webinar. But the expectation is that this group may still want to meet even after all the training's done. They've got their business plan, they've got their money, they're opening their businesses, but it would be great, wouldn't it, for them to keep meeting and providing that mutual support to one another. So that is a very hopefully clear summary of this pilot project. If anybody on the call is interested in more detailed information about it, you can contact us here at Nordic Institute. We'll be happy to give you more information and also maybe put you in contact with, I think I have their emails here at the end of this actually. Yes, put you in contact with the key players. So here, if you want to talk to us more about it, you can contact us at info@seethechange.ca. If you'd like to speak to the SBEC, who are the key player, Millworks Center for Entrepreneurship, you would contact A. Ross at ssmedc.ca. And if you wanted to contact the CFDC, their email is up here as well. Now, we have had a request that we put our PowerPoints, we're going to upload those to our new webpage in the next 10 days or so. And also these webinars will be uploaded with the audio attached as well. So you can come back and refer to this information if you need to. So I'm just going to skip back here for a second just to tell you about other resources that C has. We do have our webpage, www.cthechange.ca. I am doing a webinar tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock that's going to navigate you through that webpage and show you what resources we have. We also have these workshops that we have delivered as a webinar, but we can also come out and deliver them in person. We could be part of potentially do a session to a peer lending circle that you might start in your community. And then we also have 2 regional roundtables coming up in the Northwest and the Northeast. Kenora Roundtable is in January, and the Timmins Roundtable in the Northeast is at the end of February. So there's a lot of training opportunities in social enterprise. Keep looking for those, especially if you go to our webpage. You can see our newsletters. You can sign up to get a newsletter and receive updates on these upcoming opportunities. So if you can, please do go into our, use the link that Zach put in the chat box for the survey, and I will see if there's any questions.
Yes. Will there be another session offered for setup?
In Sault Ste. Marie?
Yes.
I don't know the answer to that. I think maybe after the pilot, I'm not sure what's happened here. I think after the pilot has run, then there would be an evaluation and then determine what next steps might be. But certainly whoever's asking this question, I would contact, send Nordic an email so that we have you on a list if it runs again. No other questions? Okay. So just to remind you, there's 3 more webinars in this series. Tomorrow we have community asset mapping at 12 noon. At 1 o'clock, we have navigating the C webpage. And at 2 o'clock, our final webinar is on starting your own grassroots peer support circle for social entrepreneurs in your specific community. Thank you very much for attending, and we might see you again tomorrow.